Hey guys, Delfiend here. Today I'm doing something a little different than I usually do with my reptiles and my pets. Today I'm starting my first of my several to come gardening videos. This is a hobby that I enjoy just as much as keeping pets. And I recently discovered how much fun it is to actually start plants from seeds and grow them all the way to maturity. I did this, I think it was either last year. Yeah, it was last year or the year before. Can't remember, but just out of the blue, me and my dad decided that we were going to just grow some plants from seeds, and we didn't think it would be that successful, but it was actually extremely successful, and we grew the majority of our entire garden from seeds. So this year I'm going to try and grow the entire garden from seeds. Last year we ended up buying the lettuce plants. We ended up buying pre-sprouted, semi-mature lettuce plants to put in our garden. But this year I'm growing most everything from seeds. I have a schedule so that all of these plants will be ready by June 1st to be transplanted into the garden. And so today I will be planting these ones. I have a tomato variety here. This is a super steak hybrid. They're basically just really big, juicy tomatoes, good for putting on like burgers and stuff. I got some cantaloupe. This is one of my favorite fruits to eat. I really do love cantaloupe. So I'm going to try and grow some. Last year it wasn't so successful because the cantaloupe plants got eaten by the deer. So hopefully we'll be a little more successful this year. And I have some strawberries. There weren't any of these type of seed packets of strawberries, but there was like a little mini grow your own strawberry kit, and for only $1, so I bought it, and I'm just going to use the seeds and plant them in my starting tray, as opposed to putting them in the little pot they came with. So that's what I'm planting today. I'm also planning on planting some sweet peppers for my guinea pig Skittles. He really loves these. Some winter squash for Freddy, because he loves butternut squash. This is a butternut squash hybrid variety sort of thing. And then I'm also planting 3 different types of lettuces, also for Freddy and for my guinea pig Skittles. Mostly for Skittles because he eats lettuce like a train, and Freddy is rather picky. So I have this giant Caesar. It just sort of looks like a hybrid between romaine and butter crunch, mostly romaine though. I've got Roman Delight, which looks like it's going to be a romaine lettuce, and Butter Crunch, which is the lettuce I grew last year and was really, really successful and is just as nutritious as romaine lettuce. I also bought some catgrass seeds, but I'm not growing these in the greenhouse because these are the type of seeds you grow in a big tray, because you have to trim this off like wheatgrass. You have to trim it and just use the baby sprouts to eat, and then it doesn't last very long. So it's not really a garden plant, but I bought it anyway. So I have this dome that I bought. It was actually fairly cheap. As you can see, I have a planter dome from 2 years ago when I did from seeds, but I decided to go something different this year. This one up here, even though you see it's filled with dirt, it's the variety that comes with like, expandable peat pellets that you have to hydrate, and they expand into taller little containers for your seeds. This year I went with this product. It's the Jiffy Pro Hex Professional Seed Starting Tray. They claim that the shape of these holes, these hexagon shapes, promote downward root growth as opposed to circular root growth in traditional trays. So this is pretty cheap. It was only $5 for a 72 cell seed starting system. So obviously I'm not going to be planting 72 seeds because the garden I have is pretty small. It can handle a number of different plants, but it can't handle 72 different plants. But I figured I might as well get the biggest one, and it's only a few bucks more expensive than getting the 32 cell one. So I went ahead and got this one. So like I said, today we're going to be planting tomato, cantaloupe, and strawberry. So first I have to go out in my garage and get my seed starting soil. I have to hydrate it because if you buy potting soil or seed starting soil, you'll find that it is very loose, and if you try to add water to it, all the water it just like floats to the top, and it's just like pretty much planting stuff in dust. So you have to hydrate the soil before you can use it. I'll eventually get to that, but right now I just want to show you guys the seeds that I'm planning on using. I will probably end up with a couple more varieties of tomato, but I'm only going to grow beefsteak from seeds. I'll probably go out and pick up some romaine tomatoes, some Roma tomatoes. They're really good for like sauce and stuff. The only problem we have is that our dog really enjoys going into the garden and eating all of our green tomatoes before they can ripen. We even put up fence, and it doesn't stop him. He reaches wherever he can to get those tomatoes, so hopefully things are better this year. So I'm going to start planting these, even though it's kind of, it's not really spring out. It's a little bit blizzardy, which is just how it is up here. You don't get spring, you just jump right into summer. So I start these seeds inside because we don't get good weather until maybe late May, early June. Even then it can be kind of iffy, there's no guarantee. So I'm going to get my soil ready, and then we will put them in the trays. Alright guys, so I got this mixed up. There's just some potting soil with some lukewarm water added until it's a nice consistency. As you can tell, it's not very powdery at all. It's nice and moist, but it's not extremely wet. You can still apply it. Kind of like a nice wet sand, good for building. That's kind of what you want your soil consistency to be. I don't have very much because I'm not going to be planting too many seeds. I've had this problem in the past when I planted seeds that they all suggest to plant two to a cell, so that if one doesn't sprout, that the other one does. But I've always had such a good success that both of them sprout, and then I can't bring it upon myself to just get rid of the other one, so I always end up growing twice as much as I need. So I'm going to limit myself here so I don't end up growing way too many plants like I did 2 years ago. And so I'm just going to fill in the amount of cells I need with the soil. If I need to, I'll mix up some more. I've got bags of this downstairs I just need to mix up. And then I'll start planting my seeds. Alright guys, so I got my cells filled with dirt. I have spots for 3 cantaloupe, 3 beefsteak, super steak, whatever you want to call it, tomatoes, and 5 for some strawberries. I haven't done strawberries before. I haven't grown them from small plants or from seeds, so strawberries are a little new to me, so I'm going to grow more than I probably should, just to make sure everything goes well. Just so you know, for this particular brand, this Jiffy Pro Hex seed starting tray, if you have any Dixie cups at home, about half a Dixie cup, a little less, fills these suckers up. When you're filling these with dirt, you don't want to pack it down, but you don't want to have big gaps where you're missing dirt either. So you just want to carefully shake it in, make sure the dirt that you're pouring in is nice and broken up. You don't want any big chunks or anything like that. And just kind of press it down very gently. You don't want to pack it in, but you want to make sure it fills all the spots so you don't have any air holes that could cause sudden collapse at some point. Alright, now we're going to get into actually planting these seeds. So if you get Burpee brand, which is the most popular, there's a lot of other brands too, but most stores, whether it's Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, you'll usually find this brand. They all have planting instructions on the back. Let me just focus in. They tell you a little blurb about them, they tell you instructions, and then this little less specific instructions tells you how deep you want to plant them, when you space them, how much you want to space them, that kind of stuff, and how long it takes until they're ready to harvest. Alright, so it says to sow after danger of frost. Obviously, still danger of frost outside, so planting these suckers inside. Alright. Thing we have to look at is the depth here. So we need to plant these a ½ an inch deep. Zoom in on that again. There we go. It's just going to be a fun, festive zooming. So we're planting these a ½ an inch deep. For the tomato, let's see, Planting these a 1/4 inch deep. Strawberries don't have instructions. Let me just check here. There we go. Here are the instructions that came with the strawberry. Let's see what it says in here. Growing instructions. 6 seeds, lightly pressed. So these are going to be fairly shallow seeds. I'm going to open these up and show you how to plant seeds. So I got my seeds open here. We're going to start with the cantaloupe seeds. So once you get these packets open, there's no magic inside, just some little seeds. They'll vary in size depending on the type of plant you get, obviously. But there are tons and tons of seeds in here. Alright, so these said to plant about 1/2 inch deep. So I got my scissors, and we're going to poke little holes. Kind of make a little burrow, about 1/2 inch deep. We're not making extreme measurements here. The measurements are usually just kind of giving you a guide whether you should plant it really shallow, really deep, or what. Alright, so we're just going to go and put 1 seed each hole, cover it up, pat it down a little lightly. A lot of seeds, or a lot of growing trays or stuff like that, are going to recommend that you plant 2 seeds per cell, just to guarantee that you'll have at least 1 sprout per cell. But like I said, if you do this right, you're almost guaranteed to have every single one of your seeds sprout, as long as they are recent seeds. You don't, if you're buying seeds from the store, you want to make sure they're germinated for the year you're planting them in. They will go out of date and won't grow anymore. And so you can just go ahead and plant 1, because like I said, I ended up with 2, and then I just couldn't get rid of them. I couldn't just throw them out. So I ended up with twice the amount of plants that I wanted. Next are the tomato seeds. These are much, much smaller seeds, so we gotta be careful pouring these suckers out. See, there's a tiny little seed there. Alright, I got just enough. Can't even see them, but here, I'll get one for you. There is your tomato seed. See if I can get it somewhere you guys can actually see it. Focus, camera. Oh, you guys get the point. Tiny little seed. There it is. Right. So these ones need to be planted a 1/4 inch deep. So they're not going to get quite as deep a hole as the cantaloupes got. So we're just going to put a tiny little dent in here. Just a little dent. Nothing deep. Just enough to move away the dirt. Alright, and then we're going to get these seeds with our fingers. And if this camera would be nice enough to focus. Go. Drop them in the hole. Got a little seed down there. Just cover it up lightly. Let's do another. Seed. Drop it in. Oops. Move it over. Make sure it gets down in the hole there if you accidentally miss. Just cover it up lightly. And then our last little tomato seed. Right. There. Got them down the hole. Tuck them in. There. Now these strawberry seeds are going to be a pain. Alright, so as you guys can see, these strawberry seeds, as you'd expect, are super, super tiny. So I'm gonna go ahead, and before I even pour those out, I'm gonna make my little holes. These ones are pretty shallow, so we're just going to put a little hole in the dirt. Not even, just a little indent. Okay. I'm afraid to pour these out, but I'm going to do it. Oh yeah, not a really smart idea. Alright, if you guys want to see these ones, I can barely tell them apart from the dirt, and they're not really sticking to my finger. Here we go. There are your strawberry seeds. Itty bitty. And I just dropped it. Alright, it's right here. So we're gonna try and get this in the hole. Looks like I got it in there. You guys can't see. It looks like a speck of dirt, but got it in there. Pat it down. Now we have to find some more on here. Here's one. I'm gonna get him in the dirt. Alright, pretty good. Cover it up. Try and get some more seeds. I'll put them in this crack this time. There's one. I need two. Alright, so we're gonna plant the last couple of these seeds. Oh, jeez. Picking these up are so hard. Okay, we got one. We're in cell number 3. Nailed it. Alright. Gotta get another. I think I got one, yeah. I got 2. Right. So this can be a really delicate process, but you just gotta get through it. My magic 5th cell that just magically filled itself. Got the last seed. Okay, so hard part's done. Got all the seeds in their little cells. Now comes the waiting part. So, now that you got all of these lovely little seeds planted, they need to sprout. And to do that, that's why this thing comes with a nice little greenhouse. Now, you don't want to put these things right in direct sunlight right away. If you do that, as soon as they sprout, the sun's gonna just completely destroy them. Baby plants are really, really delicate, believe it or not. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cover it with the greenhouse dome here. You're gonna spray this down first with some water. Just spray it down. Don't get it too damp or anything. Just moisten it up. Put a little bit of water back in the soil after you put the seeds in. And you're going to cover it with the greenhouse and put it in a nice warm area, out of direct sunlight. I put these on top of my refrigerator last year. It was a much smaller cell. I'm just probably going to put these in the back corner of the room over there. Where they'll be out of the way of the window, but they'll still be warm and they'll still get plenty of warmth. And once they start to sprout, you want to wait until all of them have sprouted, and then you can remove the greenhouse dome and put them in direct sunlight. That's when your work is going to start really getting cut out for you, because once the lid is removed, the moisture is no longer trapped, and you're going to have to start watering these little guys. If they dry out, these little baby plants, they're toast. So we're just going to spray these down, cover them up, and put them in the corner. Now this is why I like to cover these guys. This is why I like to pat them down just a little bit after I plant them. Because you don't want to be spraying them and then have the soil move and uncover your little seed. You took such a long time to get in that little hole. So you want to pat them down a little bit once you get them in there, kind of secure the soil. Alright, and just spray it a little bit more. Get some moisture in there. Now we're going to cover it up with a stone. It's going to be a little difficult because it's a big clunky dome. Alright. Here. Looks pretty good. Alright, so we've moved our little seed greenhouse to the back of the room where it's still warm but out of direct sunlight. There's our little seeds. Alright. Check back on Monday for when I'm going to plant the peppers and the squash, and then check back again next Saturday when I'm going to be planting the 3 variety of lettuces. By that Saturday, the tomatoes and the cantaloupes and strawberries here, hopefully the strawberries, no guarantee, will all be sprouted and you guys will be able to see the little baby plants. They may even be starting to sprout by Monday, but it's a little soon. So I hope you guys liked my first gardening video. If you want to see more, please give this a thumbs up. And also subscribe to see more videos all the time. I'll still be doing reptile videos. It's just 'tis the season to be planting a garden, and so I thought I'd include you guys in the experience. Alright, so like always, please like and subscribe to see more videos.